Hello friends, my name is Ryan. I'm going to tell you a story named The Portal in the Basement, A Door to Another World, which is a very amazing story full of twists. So, let's start. It was a cold autumn evening when Sam moved into his new home. The house was old, with creaky wooden floors and a strange chill that lingered in every room. Despite its eerie aura, Sam was excited to begin a new chapter of his life. Little did he know, this house had secrets that would lead him into a world beyond his wildest nightmares. Sam spent the first few days unpacking and arranging the house to his liking. On the third day, while exploring the basement, he found something peculiar. Tucked behind an old, dusty shelf was a small wooden door, no more than 3 feet tall. The door looked ancient, with strange carvings etched into the frame. At first, Sam thought it might be a storage compartment, but there was something oddly unsettling about it. He hesitated for a moment, a shiver running down his spine. Should he open it? His curiosity got the best of him. With trembling hands, he reached for the rusty handle and pulled the door open. What he saw inside was beyond comprehension. Instead of a storage space, there was a swirling vortex of light and shadows. It seemed to pulse with energy, emitting a low hum that resonated through the basement. Sam stared, frozen in place. Was it a portal? It couldn't be real, could it? He leaned closer, trying to make sense of what he was seeing. Suddenly, a gust of wind burst out from the portal, pulling him toward it. He tried to resist, but the force was too strong. In a flash, he was sucked into the vortex, and everything around him went dark. When Sam opened his eyes, he found himself in a strange, otherworldly place. The sky was a deep shade of purple, and the air smelled of something metallic. Towering trees with glowing leaves surrounded him, casting an eerie light on the ground. The world was both beautiful and terrifying. He stood up, dusting himself off, and tried to get his bearings. His heart raced as he realized the portal had vanished. Panic set in. How was he supposed to get back home? "Hello," he called out, his voice echoing through the strange forest. There was no response, only the sound of rustling leaves. Sam began to walk, hoping to find some sign of life or a way back. As he ventured deeper into the forest, he felt like he was being watched. Shadows moved just beyond his vision, and strange whispers filled the air. The whispers grew louder, forming words he couldn't understand. Suddenly, a figure appeared in front of him. It was a woman, dressed in a flowing black cloak. Her eyes glowed with an unnatural light, and her expression was unreadable. "You shouldn't be here," she said in a voice that seemed to echo from all directions. Sam took a step back. I didn't mean to come here. I found a door in my basement, and it brought me here. I just want to go home." The woman studied him for a moment, then nodded. "The portal you entered is a gateway between worlds. It's not meant to be opened by outsiders. If you wish to return, you must find the key." "Key? What key?" Sam asked, desperation creeping into his voice. "The key is hidden within this realm. But beware, many dangers lie ahead. The portal will close soon. If you don't find the key before it does, you will be trapped here forever." Before Sam could ask anything else, the woman vanished into thin air. He was alone once again. Sam took a deep breath, trying to calm his nerves. He had no choice but to find the key. The thought of being trapped in this strange world forever was unbearable. He started walking again, more cautiously this time. The forest seemed to shift around him, the trees moving subtly as if they were alive. Every now and then, he caught glimpses of strange creatures watching him from the shadows. After what felt like hours, Sam reached a clearing. In the center of the clearing stood a stone pedestal with a glowing orb on top. He approached it cautiously, his eyes scanning the area for any signs of danger. The orb pulsed with a soft light, and as he touched it, images flashed before his eyes. He saw the key, a small, ornate object, and its location, a dark castle on a hill, surrounded by a swirling mist. The vision ended, and Sam found himself back in the clearing. He now had a destination. He had to find the castle. The journey to the castle was treacherous. The landscape was ever-changing, with twisted paths and sudden drops that seemed to appear out of nowhere. Strange creatures lurked in the shadows, their eyes glowing in the darkness. Sam did his best to avoid them, but the feeling of being watched never left him. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, he reached the castle. It was an imposing structure, with dark, jagged towers that seemed to pierce the sky. The air was thick with mist, and an eerie silence hung over the place. Sam pushed open the heavy doors and stepped inside. The interior was just as ominous as the outside. The walls were lined with ancient tapestries depicting scenes of battles and strange rituals. The air was cold, and the sound of his footsteps echoed through the empty halls. He made his way through the castle, searching for the key. Each room seemed more unsettling than the last. Shadows danced on the walls, and strange whispers filled the air. It felt like the castle itself was alive, watching his every move. Finally, in a grand hall at the top of the tallest tower, Sam found the key. It was resting on a pedestal in the center of the room, glowing softly. Relief washed over him as he reached for it. But just as his fingers closed around the key, the room shook violently. The walls began to crack, and a dark figure emerged from the shadows. It was the woman from before, but her appearance had changed. Her eyes burned with a fierce light, and her cloak billowed around her like a storm. "You were warned," she said, her voice like thunder. "The key is not yours to take." Sam backed away, clutching the key tightly. "I just want to go home." The woman raised her hand, and the room filled with a blinding light. Sam felt himself being lifted off the ground, the air crackling with energy. He closed his eyes, bracing for the worst. When he opened them again, he was back in his basement, the small wooden door now shut tight. The portal was gone. He was safe. Sam collapsed to the floor, his heart pounding. He couldn't believe what had just happened. Was it real, or just a bizarre dream? But as he looked down at his hand, he saw the key still clutched in his fingers. It was real. All of it. From that day on, Sam never went near the door again. But sometimes, late at night, he could still hear the faint hum of the portal, as if it was calling to him. "Some doors are meant to stay closed," he whispered to himself, holding the key tightly. "And some worlds should never be entered." And that, my friends, is the story of the portal in the basement, a door to another world. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more amazing tales. Until next time, stay curious, but beware of doors you shouldn't open. Goodbye.